So my name is Joanne Mallory, and I'm a writer. And it has been a long time since I've said that. So I suppose it's been so long, 2.5, 3 years since I made a writer-based video. I'm kind of going to start at the beginning. I'm going to start all over again, I suppose. So my name is Jo, and I write under the writer name of Joanne Mallory. I've never really called it a pen name because it was never my intention to have a pen name. But back in 2015, 2016, when I got my first publishing deal, there was a lady, there still is a lady on the internet called Joanne Mallon. That's my name. And she's got squibs and squibs of Twitter followers, and she's friends with Stephen Fry. And she writes child psychology, I think, the psychology behind raising children and things like that. And I do not. I write romance. And so it never seemed sensible to me to use my own name as, as another Joanne Mallon already had the website and the Twitter and the Instagram and all those kinds of bits and pieces. So it just seemed like not the right thing to do. So I kept as close to my own name as I could, hence Joanne Mallory. And I haven't talked about writing in years. And that doesn't mean that I'm not a writer anymore, although sometimes you feel like that. But I'm about to get back in the saddle. So I suppose a very brief life update is, if you've kind of seen any of my other videos on this channel, you'll know that back in 2019, I had cancer and huge surgery, massive surgery. And it kind of knocked the wind out from under me. I think it's, obviously you deal, don't you? You deal with all when you get sick, you deal with all the labels that go along with it, what it does to you, like your mental well-being and, trauma and, all the words that we are getting more comfortable with as a society surrounding mental wellness. But I think it just left me coping, one day after the next day, one foot in front of the other. And there was nothing in me to write, which makes me sad, because I know writing for me is definitely connected to mental wellness. But yeah, there was nothing. I just had to concentrate on kind of getting better and getting back on some kind of normal, because along with being ill and having huge surgeries, the surgery that I had was a massive hysterectomy, and that brought menopause in with a bang. And that's its own special kind of thing to have to deal with. So that in itself is just another thing that we put on the list. But, and then the pandemic and all the things. So I suppose the life update is that I've just been getting by. And I think a lot of us have kind of felt like that. I'm going to talk in future videos more about why I haven't written anything, or perhaps why I couldn't write anything, and mitigating circumstances, blah 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 blah. But for now, I want to talk about getting back in the chair. I have had a real sense of the slow build over the last few months, 6 months or so, where I've really felt like I am missing something. I'm missing that part of me, that part of me that used to sort of sit down with the laptop or sit down with a notepad at all hours of the morning and write what was literally in the forefront of my mind. And for the longest time, I perhaps just thought that part of my life was over. I've written 3 fiction books and a non-fiction book, and I wondered if that was it, if that's all I had in me. I think burnout was very, very real. disappointment, self-doubt, imposter syndrome, all the things just come crashing down, or they did on me. And I kind of found myself paralyzed in a way by not being able to put words on the page. So I suppose for the writer humans out there that are kind of watching and listening, have you had anything like this, dealt with anything like this? How long was your longest period kind of off the reservation, as it were? And what did you do for yourself to get back on the bike? I'm really interested. And I've slowly started to write again. Nothing to the length that I was sort of writing before, and not fiction as such. It's been a lot of poetry, probably really bad poetry to be fair, but very cathartic nonetheless. So the odd stanza, rhyming couplets, kind of just words here and there as they bubble up on the on the backs of envelopes, on the notes on my phone. I've got a kind of an email. I bang open an email while I'm at work, and then I email it back to myself, and sometimes it'll have nothing in it other than the shopping list, and other times there'll be sentences in there, a couple of words put together that just triggered something in my brain at that time. And I want to, and I intend to kind of get myself organised in the coming week or so, where I want to gather all those in one place, almost like a potluck. I did wonder whether to sort of get a big jar or a big tin and just write them all on the bits of paper and just take all the scraps, fold them up, put them all in there, and every now and again just pull something out and see what sparks. So I'm going in easy. I've got no real urge, or perhaps urge is the wrong word. I don't feel like I have a whip and a chair to myself where I'm trying to beat myself into a corner to get the words down. I did start writing back in the summer. That's not right. I did start writing, might have even been back in February now, because time, it has no meaning. I think it was back in February, and it's something that I started with my best friend, where we'd email each other the words at the end of the week. The idea that we got a couple of thousand words down, or a chapter down, or something, and we'd email it backwards and forwards. She was my accountability buddy, and I was hers. And I got 3 or 4 chapters down, and it was the most cathartic and just bloody joyful thing I've done in a long time. I don't know how anybody else found the pandemic and being creative, but for me, I couldn't even get my brain to shift that way. It was just so busy worrying about the what ifs and the what's going to happen and the where are we at. So I think there was a lot of great creative people putting out amazing, I'm loath to use the word content because it bloody annoys the hell out of me, because what we create isn't content, it's art. So there was a lot of great creators creating art during the lockdown, and I mean, more power to them. I very much struggled to access that part of myself. I think it was, fear, panic, worry, massive dampeners. So I suppose this is a reintroduction today, and I'm well aware that it's a bit kind of random and disjointed and all over the place. And my intention is to kind of get more organised. My intention is to get more organised and make kind of writer vlogs that focus around things that are useful to me, that focus around things that are inspirational to me, and share them with you. I tell you what I did do in my efforts to try and get back in the saddle is I wrote a book a few years ago, 2018, 2017, and it was called How to Build an Author Platform. And obviously it is not current anymore because social media moves at the speed of light. But I have just finished editing it. It's only short. And I think I made it free on Amazon ages ago. Anyway, don't go out and buy it. And if it is free, don't go out and download it, because it's still the old edits. But what I am going to do is I've just finished the edits and the rewrites, and I'm adding to the title, and I'm going to call it How to Build an Author Platform the Mindful Way. And my current plan at the moment is I'm going to put the chapters up on SoundCloud for free. So in the coming weeks, I will be tucking those down, and it's basically a real beginner's guide to strangling social media into submission, to a place where it doesn't become the be all and end all, and to a place where it doesn't feel like you're failing. Social media can make us feel like we're failing, because there's no getting away from the fact that we need social media as creatives of any sort. We've got to have a platform of sorts, and if we can't do that, or we can't get the interaction, or we can't get the followers, or it doesn't seem to get the right traction, or it can feel like we're failing, and then that impacts our writing. Hey, are you gonna come and say hello? No? Postman anger. It's all right. Postman anger. Hey, enough. Thank you. So, and that can make us feel like we're failing. And when we feel like we're failing, it's really difficult to write, and it's really difficult to create. And it's really difficult to create or write anything. Are you joining in? Always a good girl. So yeah, I thought that I'm going to put the edits out, being put off by the little woofer. I'm going to put the edits out, and I'm going to make them free. And my intention is to make them free in as many places as possible. And as that gets done, I'll start leaving links in the videos. And it'll give you some ideas as to how to choose different social media platforms, what kind of things to put up there, and how to build yourself a platform and not worry about it, basically, so that you can get back to the much more important things that is writing, that is creating, that is the art. But I'll waffle on about that in future weeks as we go as well. So yeah, so this is my short reintroduction, my short writer life update, my short kind of what's going on and what's coming. I have got a few more things coming, and I have got a few more videos that I'd like to make that I'm hoping will be interesting to some people, but I'm not being a deliberate tease. I'm just waiting for some things to come together, and then I'll do a bit more of a reveal. But I hope everyone is well. I hope you are feeling the urge to create, and I hope that you are not letting life stop you from doing that. Take care, lovely souls. See you later.